Tensions flaring once again in the South China Sea after vessels from China and the Philippines collided twice in disputed waters over the weekend. The run-ins are the most recent in a string of confrontations in the past few months, which have been concentrated near to the Spratly Islands.
An escalation of a diplomatic row in the disputed South China Sea after Beijing and Manila traded barbs over the collision of their vessels off the contested Second Thomas Shoal on Sunday. Both sides have filed diplomatic protests and released videos to support their accusations. In a video released by the Philippines, a Chinese Coast Guard vessel was filmed brushing the side of a Philippine Coast Guard vessel, reportedly causing some damage to the boat. The vessel had been resupplying a former warship grounded on the shoal and used as a base for Philippine Marines. Manila has labelled the collision as intentional and a blatant violation of international law, repeating its call for Beijing to stop its provocative actions.
As we have repeatedly said in the past, continued Chinese blocking and interference by Chinese vessels with our regular and routine rotation and resupply missions RORE to BRP Sierra Madre may lead to disastrous results.
The Philippine government views the latest aggression by China as a blatant violation of international law. China has no legal right or authority to conduct law enforcement operations in our territorial waters and in our exclusive economic zone. We are taking this incident seriously at the highest levels of government.
Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos has ordered his Coast Guard to investigate the incident. The Chinese Coast Guard released their own footage of the incident as well. They claim that the Philippine vessel had ignored repeated warnings and deliberately provoked trouble by crossing the bow of the Chinese ship, resulting in the collision. China has since urged the Philippines to take its concerns seriously and stop the dangerous maneuvers in the South China Sea.
中方再次敦促菲方重视中方严正关切，信守承诺，停止在海上滋事挑衅，停止采取危险举动，停止对中国的攻击抹黑，尽快拖走非法坐滩的军舰，避免破坏南海的和平稳定，损害本地区国家的共同利益。
China also maintained that its Coast Guard was lawfully blocking the boat and accused it of transporting illegal construction materials to the warship. Beijing has lodged a complaint over the trespassing of Philippine vessels and warned Manila to stop its groundless attacks and the smear campaign against China. The incident has sparked international condemnation, with the Canadian and Japanese embassies in Manila expressing their concern and reiterating support for the Philippines. The US reaffirmed its support for Manila in what it calls China's harassment in the contested waters and labelled Beijing's actions as dangerous and unlawful. But China has criticized the US for ignoring the facts.
美国为实现自身地缘政治私利，怂恿支持配合菲律宾在仁爱礁侵权挑衅，严重违反国际法和国际关系基本准则，严重损害中方的主权和权益，严重危害地区和平稳定。地区国家对此看得十分清楚。中国维护自身合法权利的决心和意志是坚定的，美方的图谋注定不可能得逞。
Manila and Beijing have a long history of maritime disputes in the South China Sea, both seeking to assert their territorial claims in the highly strategic waters. While Washington has also sought to assert itself in the region, and the waters are part of a wider, ongoing power struggle between Washington and Beijing.